Welcome to Mythbusters Science Edition. Hey there, science fans. Have you ever thought you knew something for sure, only to discover it was all a myth? What if I told you that many of the things we accept as facts are nothing more than misconceptions? Today, we're diving deep into the realm of science to uncover the truth behind some of the most pervasive myths. Stick around, because by the end, you'll not only be smarter, but also more equipped to challenge what you think you know. Are you ready to have your mind blown? Let's jump in. First up, let's tackle the infamous claim that we only use 10% of our brains. You've heard this one, right? It's a popular notion that has been around for decades. It sounds great in movies, doesn't it? The idea that we have untapped potential, just waiting to be unlocked. Who wouldn't want to unlock the other 90%? Imagine the possibilities. Superhuman abilities, genius-level intellect, and more. We could all be telekinetic geniuses. The stuff of science fiction could become reality. But here's the catch: neuroscientific research shows that we use virtually all parts of our brain, and each region has a specific function. No part is left idle. Think about it. Your brain is controlling everything you do, from breathing to balancing to brainstorming your next brilliant idea. It's a highly efficient organ. Do you really think it could do all that using just a measly 10%? The brain is far more complex and active than that. Imagine for a moment that your brain is a city, a bustling metropolis with countless activities happening simultaneously. Every part is bustling with activity, processing information, controlling movements, and even keeping you breathing. It's a hive of constant activity. Some parts of the city might be busier than others at any given time, but that doesn't mean the quieter areas aren't important. Each area has its role. They're all connected and working together to keep the city functioning. The same goes for your brain. The idea that we only tap into a fraction of our brain power is not just misleading, it's a disservice to the incredible complexity of our minds. It undermines the true capabilities of our brain. Your brain is a marvel of evolution, constantly adapting and changing in response to your experiences. It's a dynamic organ. So why does this myth persist? Why do people continue to believe it? Well, for one thing, it's a tantalizing idea. The thought of having untapped potential is very appealing. The thought of unlocking hidden potential is exciting. It gives us hope that we can achieve more. Maybe it makes us feel hopeful, like we all have the capacity for greatness. It's a comforting thought, but here's the thing. You don't need to unlock some hidden potential to be amazing. You're already using your brain to its fullest. You're already using your whole brain to live your life, learn new things, and connect with the world around you. Every part of your brain is active and engaged. That's pretty incredible in itself, don't you think? The fact that your brain is always working for you. And who knows? As scientists continue to unravel the mysteries of the brain, we might discover even more amazing things about this complex organ. The future holds endless possibilities. But one thing's for sure, you don't need to wait for science to unlock your potential. You're already using it. Your brain is already a powerhouse. Now let's move on before we get too distracted by our unfulfilled superhero dreams. There's so much more to explore. We've got a lot more myths to bust. Stay tuned for more fascinating insights. Next, let's discuss the myth that humans have only 5 senses. You know, the drill sight, hearing, taste, touch, and smell. These are the senses we are all taught about from a young age. We learn it in elementary school, we see it on those educational posters. But what if I told you it's not the whole story? What if there's more to our sensory experience than just these 5? While those 5 senses are certainly important, science tells us there's much more to the story. Our understanding of human senses has evolved significantly. For instance, we have proprioception, which is the sense of where our body is in space. This sense helps us navigate our environment without constantly looking at our limbs. It's how you can close your eyes and still touch your nose. This sense is crucial for everyday activities and coordination. We also have equilibrioception, our sense of balance, which keeps us from falling over all the time. This sense is vital for activities ranging from walking to complex athletic maneuvers. And believe it or not, we even have a sense of time. This internal clock helps us keep track of the passage of time, even without external cues. Think about it. Have you ever just felt like someone was watching you, even when no one's around? This is your body picking up on subtle environmental cues. These cues can include changes in temperature, air currents, or even the presence of another person. That's your body picking up on subtle cues like changes in temperature or air currents. These small changes can alert us to potential dangers or changes in our environment. It's all part of your amazing sensory system. our brains are constantly processing a vast array of sensory information. It's exciting to realize we're far more complex than we often assume. Our sensory system is a marvel of biological engineering. Our senses are constantly feeding our brains information about the world around us, and our brains are working overtime to process it all and make sense of it. This continuous flow of information helps us navigate and understand our surroundings. But why stop at 5 senses when there's a whole universe of perception out there? The potential for discovery is immense. Scientists are still discovering new senses all the time, and we're only just beginning to understand how they all work together. Each new discovery opens up new possibilities for understanding human perception. This is where the urgency kicks in. Understanding our full range of senses could revolutionize how we interact with the world. Imagine the advancements in technology and design that could come from this knowledge. Imagine being able to design products that are more intuitive to use, or create environments that are more stimulating and engaging. The possibilities are endless. This could lead to innovations in everything from virtual reality to everyday household items. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. There's still so much to learn and discover. We've got more myths to bust, and we're just getting started. Stay tuned for more fascinating insights into the human experience. Now let's confront the age-old belief that goldfish have a memory span of just 3 seconds. This myth is not just humorous, it undermines the intelligence of these aquatic creatures. Goldfish are often the butt of jokes, but they deserve more respect. Research shows that goldfish can actually remember information for months. Yes, you heard that right. Months, not seconds. They can learn to recognize their owners, navigate mazes, and even remember which levers to push for food rewards. This level of cognitive ability is quite impressive for such a small creature. Picture a goldfish, darting through its tank, not just swimming aimlessly but actively recalling where the best hiding spots are, where the food usually appears, and even the layout of its environment, remembering the routine of its owner like when feeding time is and responding to their presence, and maybe even plotting its escape. Okay, maybe not that last part, but it's a little mind-blowing, isn't it? These tiny fish have a lot more going on upstairs than we give them credit for. It's a little mind-blowing, isn't it? These little fish, often relegated to tiny bowls and forgotten on countertops, are capable of far more than we give them credit for. These little fish, often relegated to tiny bowls and forgotten on countertops, are capable of far more than we give them credit for. They are not just decorative pets, they are intelligent beings. This misconception might make us laugh, but it also reflects our tendency to underestimate other species. We often judge intelligence based on our own human-centric criteria. We tend to think of intelligence as something that looks and acts like us, but the animal kingdom is full of incredible examples of intelligence that challenge our narrow definitions. But the animal kingdom is full of incredible examples of intelligence that challenge our narrow definitions. From dolphins using tools to birds solving complex puzzles, intelligence comes in many forms. So what does that say about our understanding of intelligence across the animal kingdom? It means we need to broaden our perspective and appreciate the diverse ways animals think and learn. It means we've got a lot to learn. There's a whole world of animal cognition out there waiting to be explored. There's a whole world of animal cognition out there waiting to be explored. And who knows what amazing discoveries await us. The more we study, the more we realize how much we don't know. And who knows what amazing discoveries await us. But for now, let's give our goldfish friends a little more credit. They might not be writing any symphonies anytime soon. But they're definitely not as forgetful as we thought. So next time you see a goldfish, remember, there's more to them than meets the eye. But they're definitely not as forgetful as we thought. So next time you see a goldfish, remember, there's more to them than meets the eye. Now let's address a myth that's not just misleading but potentially dangerous. The myth linking vaccines to autism. This claim has been thoroughly debunked by countless scientific studies, yet it persists, often fueled by misinformation and fear-mongering. The urgency here is critical. Vaccines save lives. They are one of the most significant public health achievements in human history, responsible for eradicating smallpox, nearly wiping out polio, and drastically reducing the incidence of many other deadly diseases. Imagine a world where preventable diseases run rampant because of misinformation. That's not just a hypothetical scenario, it's a reality in some regions today, where vaccine hesitancy has led to outbreaks of measles, whooping cough, and other preventable illnesses. The emotional weight of this misconception can be heavy. Parents, understandably concerned about their children's health, may hesitate to vaccinate based on unfounded fears, but the truth is, vaccines are rigorously tested for safety and efficacy, and the benefits far outweigh the risks. It's time to dispel this myth once and for all. Vaccines are not the enemy. They are our allies in the fight against infectious diseases. They protect not only individuals but also communities through herd immunity, safeguarding those who are too young, too old, or too immunocompromised to be vaccinated themselves. So if you're on the fence about vaccines, I urge you to talk to your doctor, consult reputable sources of information, and make an informed decision based on science, not fear. Finally, let's address a myth that has probably caused a lot of unnecessary anxiety. The belief that cracking your knuckles leads to arthritis. Admit it, you've probably heard this one from your mom or grandma. But rest assured, scientific studies show no connection between the two. That satisfying popping sound you hear when you crack your knuckles is just gas bubbles in the synovial fluid, which lubricates your joints, bursting. It's perfectly harmless. So go ahead, crack those knuckles without fear. Your joints will thank you, and you can save the worry for more pressing matters, like what to binge watch next or whether pineapple belongs on pizza. The answer is yes, by the way. But seriously, understanding the science behind these everyday myths can help us separate fact from fiction and make informed decisions about our health and well-being. As we wrap up our journey through science and myth, it's clear that knowledge is our best defense against misinformation. We've uncovered truths that challenge our perceptions and inspire curiosity. But here's the cliffhanger. What other myths are lurking out there waiting to be debunked? The world is full of mysteries, and science is our best tool for unraveling them. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because in our next video, we'll explore even more shocking science facts that might change how you see the world. Thank you for joining me on this inquisitive journey. Remember, the pursuit of knowledge never ends. Keep questioning, keep exploring.